Jaggy, of course, one figure who has figured large, certainly on our channel on a regular basis, but figures large in the Sikh community as somebody who has been arbitrarily detained for now over 7 years. Essentially because of the threat, even just as an individual, practicing his Sikh religion and practicing his principles as a Sikh, standing up to injustice wherever it stands. He was responsible for highlighting India's past appalling track record on human rights and the genocides it perpetrated against the community in the 80s and 90s. Well, as a result of his actions, when he flew back to the Punjab to get married, he was bundled into the back of a van. When he popped out to buy some cigarettes or something, or popped round to the local shop, he was bundled into the back of the van and never been seen since, leaving his poor wife, his new wife, wondering what had happened to him. It turned out he'd been arbitrarily detained by the Indian authorities. He was tortured. Yes, he was actually tortured by the Indian state. This is by the Indian police, don't forget, a so-called democracy. And he remains in arbitrary detention now for 2,677 days. Again, it's an absolute outrage. It is a legal outrage. It's a democratic outrage. And we will continue to highlight his case until hopefully one day he comes home. The British government, as I often say, have been appalling in their actions on this. They've done absolutely nothing. Certainly, there have been zero results. In terms of firstly highlighting his case. A few MPs do try on a regular basis to highlight his case in Parliament, but the government, whether it was the Conservative government of the last 10 plus years, 14 years actually, or the current Starmer government, nothing has been done. He still remains in arbitrary detention. So I just wanted to give a quick update of what's been happening over the last week. The 28th of February, yes, it reached a milestone, 150 trial hearings on this one case. So he reached his 150th trial hearing. That was at Baga Purana. The hearing was then adjourned until tomorrow, the 4th of March. It's just a catalogue of absolute democratic legal outrage. And just as an addendum to this, here in the UK, of course, his case remains very, very public. People, the community are out there on a regular basis. For example, here, I'm showing the Severdars in Wolverhampton continuing to advocate for him, continuing to raise his profile. They're handing out leaflets. This case remains very high profile. We certainly will not forget it, as the community has not done. We will continue to pressure from our small voice, but all these small voices combine into a much louder clamour. We all must combine and continue to help Gurpreet, his brother, and his family fight this case to raise the awareness of what's going on to Keir Starmer, our Prime Minister, and we must get the British government to act.